Welcome to another edition of Let's Play WWE 2015. This is the second episode of Smackdown of 2015, as we are now 2 weeks away from the Royal Rumble live on the WWE Network from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And as I mentioned on the Raw recap, this week's episode, the Royal Rumble this year will be once again a 40-man elimination match with special entrants, including former ECW wrestlers. Before I jump into the show, I want to put together a pre-show match, partially because I don't book post-show matches. Even in this game, and even though you really don't lose much of anything doing a post-show match, if anything, other than lose a little bit off the top of the rating, I'm adding Shelton Benjamin, considering Shelton Benjamin, much like Dolph Ziggler, has not competed recently. But either way, as we jump right in to this week's episode of SmackDown live from the Mobile Civic Center in Mobile, Alabama, Dolph Ziggler kicks off the pre-show against Brett Pyle, and Ziggler gets the win. And then the returning Damian Sandow. Sandow defeats Dean Brooks in the second pre-show match, and the third is won by Shelton Benjamin, who defeats Xavier Woods. The reason why I basically rushed through the pre-show is simply because look what's kicking off the show. When was the last time, if you have ever seen a woman's feud kick off the show? Paige and her feud with AJ is kicking off SmackDown here tonight, as Paige taunts AJ, and I guess you could say puts AJ through the ringer in terms of jealousy towards Paige, that she's always wanted to be Paige, because Paige was always better than her, because Paige beat her in her debut and AJ never got over it. But this brings out AJ, and a good back and forth between Paige and AJ right here, as pretty much AJ tells Paige she's full of herself, and that AJ's in the business because she loves it. Paige is in the business because her parents couldn't afford a babysitter. And that leads to Paige and AJ once again, much like what happened back at TLC when Paige interfered in AJ's Divas title match against Natalya and Nikki, when they got into a fight backstage. Now it's in the ring. Paige and AJ are going back at each other in the ring, and this forces a host of road agents and staff to pull them apart. Once again, I ask, do you remember the last time you actually saw or heard of two women having a pull-apart brawl on television over their hatred for one another? Paige and AJ hate each other, and it proves it by them barely being able to be in the same ring together, because almost immediately after AJ enters the ring, just that one comment, just that one snide remark from AJ about Paige's parents not being able to afford a babysitter, and that's the only reason why Paige is in wrestling, that causes Paige and AJ to go right after each other, and the brawl commences. And then we move over to the broadcast position with Scott Hudson, Jason Albert, and Jerry Lawler as they discuss Paige and AJ and how these two women are putting together a feud like we've never seen before in the WWE Divas division. And now we move to the second match tonight, or the first match tonight, as Darren Young and Titus O'Neil go up against Flex Freeman and Ty Dillinger as the primetime players get a quick win over the Job Guys. Now we move backstage where Lana is talking to Rusev, basically pleading with Rusev to change the stipulation of the match. But Rusev keeps telling Lana, relax. Rob has not accepted the match just yet. But Rusev, he did. He said that he would walk out of Philadelphia with the United States title and me. Do you not have faith in me, Lana? I am going to crush Rob Van Dam at the Royal Rumble and get back my United States title. A highlight package showing the history between Rusev and Rob Van Dam as we move closer to 2 weeks from Sunday in Philadelphia at the Royal Rumble. And now the last couple of weeks we've seen Mickie James compete as Mickie is back in the WWE. But now it's Natalya's turn to compete as Natalya's up against Alicia Fox and Natalya gets the win. And after the match, Natalya basically says, for lack of a better word, welcome back to the WWE, Mickie. But the one thing you don't realize is things are different than when you left. Things are different than when you left because there's nothing keeping us apart like there was when you were here. Now, I am the WWE Divas Champion, and I'm changing the perception of this division day by day. And when me and you get in the ring together at the Rumble, it isn't just going to be me anymore changing the perception of this division. You are going to help me because I know you, Mickie. And I know for a fact you and I can change this division for the better. And it starts in 2 weeks at the Rumble. But the one thing you're wrong about is you're not going to leave Royal Rumble with my Divas title. You're going to put up a good fight. But in the end, you're going to tap out. And now we move backstage with the Authority finally back together with Randy and Seth, seemingly getting along. But Stephanie and Triple H are happy to see it, saying that we're a family, and it's about time we start acting like one. So, Seth, you and Randy will compete in a tag team match as partners this Monday night on Raw against two opponents of our choosing. And that's when you will prove, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that you are a family. So it seems like everything's good in Authority Land. Rusev beats Zack Ryder as Rusev competes in what is actually his first match of 2015 and first match in a while. As his, I guess you could say, his tune-up for the finale between him and Rob Van Dam in 2 weeks at the Royal Rumble for the United States title. Rusev cuts a promo on Rob, basically saying, Rob, you've taken everything from me. You've taken everything from me, from my title, my undefeated streak. The faith that my manager has in me is all gone. So at the Royal Rumble, I'm not only going to crush you, At the Royal Rumble, I'm not only going to take my title back, I will crush you. And now we move to a video package that I like to call the WWE Retrospective, that was once hosted by the new color commentator on Smackdown, Jason Albert, but has now been taken over by the resident videographer, Renee Young. If you don't know what this is, well, then that means you were too young to know what WCW did before Nitro, because back in the day, as WCW, in build-up to WCW's pay-per-views, WCW would do something called the Control Center, where they would highlight big feuds or updates as we get closer to the pay-per-view. And that is exactly what Renee Young is doing here, as Renee is talking up the matches that we know thus far for the Royal Rumble match, including the 40-man Royal Rumble match, John Cena versus Kevin Owens, Daniel Bryan versus The Big Show, where if Daniel Bryan wins, Daniel is in the Rumble, but if Daniel Bryan loses, he will not be able to be in the 40-man Royal Rumble. And also, who could forget the United States title match that has gotten so much attention tonight between Rusev and Rob Van Dam. And if Rob Van Dam wins, not only does he retain the United States title, but he gets Lana as his manager for 1 month. He gets Lana as his manager for 1 month. But that's not all for the Rumble. More to come in the 2 weeks left before the big night in Philadelphia, when the road to WrestleMania begins. And now we move forward as the New Day. New Day, fresh off their loss to Tyson and Cesaro on Raw, go up against the Motor City Machine Guns, and the New Day are victorious over the Guns here tonight on SmackDown, as the New Day gets the win back. But that's not all. After the match, New Day say something to the effect of they're sick and tired of being tied down and ignored. They're sick and tired of being forgotten about. They're sick and tired of being in a meaningless feud with people that no one even remembers, like Mark Henry and D'Lo Brown. So Big E and Kofi lay out a challenge for this Monday night on Raw, that they will end the feud between themselves and Mark and D'Lo. And not just that, they will kill the era of Attitude. Because it is a new day. That's right. New Day are out to kill the era of Attitude and stop those idiots from wanting it to come back. And who better to banish, I guess you could say, than Mark and D'Lo, two guys who made their careers, made themselves famous as members of the Attitude Era. And now we move to the next segment as Miz is backstage and he's standing in what looks to be his locker room, and there's Miz written in big letters on the wall with posters of him with his movie poster. Whatever movie he was in, Santa's Little Helper, or whatever the heck he was in, I don't even know. And Miz just turns around and he's acting like a celebrity. Oh, I didn't hear you come in, blah 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 blah. He cuts a Miz promo, but then starts bashing Damian Sandow, saying even in his return he wants to take my spotlight. Well, Damian, when you were my stunt double, you may have tried to overshadow me, but now I have something you never have had and never will have, and that is the Intercontinental title. And Ambrose, you beating me because of Sandow means nothing. I mean, you losing because of Sandow means nothing. Other than the fact that I won. Interruption. Sandow and Ambrose both interrupt Miz, and then Ziggler jumps in because he doesn't want to be forgotten about in the aspect of he is officially the only person set to face the Miz for the Intercontinental title. And Dolph just basically says, Miz, with the crowded picture, I don't want to wait till the Rumble, so how about we do this next week on Raw? Me, you, one-on-one for that. Miz is shaking his head no, and Dolph says, you don't get a choice. I won #1 contendership to face you for that. So Monday night on Raw, I'm coming for my title. And you, pointing to Ambrose, aren't going to stop me, and you aren't going to stop me. That will be my Intercontinental title once again. It seems like the picture for the Intercontinental title keeps growing by the day. Now Dolph, Ambrose, and Sandow all want their fair chance at The Miz. But it seems like Dolph will be first, as he and The Miz will be locking horns this Monday night on Raw, as not only now will the New Day and their New Day face Mark and D'Lo once again, but also now set for Raw, the Intercontinental title will be on the line once again as The Miz faces Dolph Ziggler in their long-anticipated rematch from Survivor Series. And now we move backstage with Paige and Stephanie. Paige asks Stephanie for a match against AJ to settle their differences because they're sick and tired. Well, Paige is sick and tired of what she says AJ getting help by security to keep Paige from ending her career. So she wants her in the ring at the Royal Rumble. 1-on-1. And Stephanie says, Paige, I don't think you and AJ can wait till the Rumble, so I'm making it this Monday night on Raw. You versus Paige. You versus AJ, and the winner will get to choose the stipulation for the match at the Royal Rumble. Sound good? So, it's official, a third match has been set for Monday night on Raw. AJ and Paige, where the winner gets to choose the stipulation for the match at the Royal Rumble in 2 weeks, live in Philadelphia. And now we move forward as Gold and Stardust are backstage. This is this segment is what really became a typical Stardust segment, because this is Stardust in his back, in his star-filled room with Goldust, and they're talking about their success recently, how they got back off the losing streak, and how sooner or later they'll get back to the tag team titles, so on and so forth and so which. And how their future is in the stars, that's how our future is in the stars. Sorry, that was my Stardust impression, I guess you could say. Now Lana surprisingly comes down for commentary for the next match, and of course, Rob Van Dam is in the next match against, you guessed it, The Big Show. And The Big Show is The Big Show defeats RVD and sticks him with what is one of his first few losses since returning to the WWE. But look at who caused the loss. Big Show won after a distraction from Lana as Rob was on the top rope looking for the 5-star frog splash. Lana got up and distracted him, allowing Big Show to get set up. And as Rob came off the corner because he saw Big Show getting up, Big Show slugged away, hit him right with a big right hand, knocking him out cold and letting Big Show pick up the win. After this, Lana begs RVD to turn down Rusev's challenge because he's gonna lose on Sunday and lose that title. I mean, not turn down. Be wary of Rusev because he's like a snake, ready to pounce because he feels like he has nothing to lose. A strange segment there because why? Why would Lana want to protect Rob Van Dam from Rusev? And I say protect because isn't her warning him that Rusev is pissed off and feels like he has nothing to lose going into the Rumble? Isn't that a little strange? That's the point. Because you're supposed to now ask yourself, is Lana still on Rusev's side? Well, you're going to have to find that out some other time because this is the main event as Daniel Bryan competes for the second week in a row on SmackDown. But this week, he's up against Joe Hennig in what was a very decent match. But once again, we fell short for SmackDown as the show increased our popularity in 18 regions and decreased our popularity in 16. So unfortunately, we lost popularity. I mean, in my opinion, we gained popularity, but unfortunately, this is the type, we got the same thing we have gotten almost every week since we started on SmackDown, but it's the total opposite on Raw, as if you've seen my Raws, we usually only gain popularity on Raws. I don't get what the difference is, but it seems like I may have to make some changes on how I book SmackDown. But I'll have to save those changes for next week, as that is it for this week. So if you liked the video, please leave a like. And if you want to see more content just like this, then subscribe to the channel, because right here at Wrestling Express is the only place for that. Till next time, later.